So here is our second paragraph of the mock, and this talks about another area that's pretty close to my heart, libraries. I have some really fond memories of the libraries that I've been to, and I hope all of us have had that pleasant experience. So the first paragraph talks about the gatekeeping of knowledge in India and its fallout, and links it with the presence or absence of the public library. Paragraph 2 is essentially a single sentence that says that, oh, we need a national public library policy. Then you have this third paragraph that talks about the current policy situation. Fourth paragraph adds some more aspects to the current situation, bringing in some data and the lack of standardization and the inaccessibility of the public library system. Right, and then if you look at the next one, paragraph 5 introduces us to something called the free library movement along with its history. And finally, the sixth paragraph tells us that the struggle still continues, and if we succeed, what the advantages are to us as a society. Right, so here is our question number 5. The first question based on the passage. The author is most likely to agree with which of the following descriptions of libraries? Okay, so let us see. So most likely to agree is another way of testing our understanding of inferences. So A, free libraries are evidence of India's long history of gatekeeping knowledge. This is false. Because we have been gatekeeping knowledge, we did not want libraries to be free. The presence of free libraries in fact shows that you don't want to gatekeep knowledge, you want to spread it to everyone. Okay, B, the demand for free libraries is a brainchild of the present generation. False. Remember fifth paragraph where we talked about the history of free library movement? Started with 1930s, so can we say present generation? No. C, libraries are liberating and empowering spaces. That's exactly the one of the core ideas presented in this particular paragraph. So this is true. Okay, D, a free library is a pipe dream, especially for a poor country. So pipe dream, what exactly is a pipe dream? A pipe dream is a hope or a plan that you have and which you know will never really happen. So something which is unrealistic, something that is unattainable. Now, does the author think that free libraries are unattainable? On the contrary, the author believes that this can be done. Remember the last paragraph where he urges all of us to come together? So according to the author, it is definitely not a pipe dream and therefore false. So as you can see, A, B and D are false, C is true. Therefore, for question number 5, our answer should be option C. Let's have a look at question 6. Which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage above? So cannot has not been highlighted. Let me do that for you. So because it's an inference question, let's go ahead and apply true, false, can't say. A, India has a history of excluding people from access to learning based on caste and gender. This is true, going by the first paragraph. And B, the Indian public library system is inaccessible to many people. This is also true. So let me take you through some relevant parts. So look at this, the very first paragraph. Okay, this is the part from where you can infer A. And if you look at this and the last paragraph and combine it with the which one? The penultimate paragraph which introduced NGOs. It starts with the libraries still remain inaccessible to many. So these three locations can very clearly help you label B as true. So as we can see, A and B are definitely true. Let's have a look at, so A is true, B is true. Let's have a look at C. The most recent review of national policy on libraries does not specify that public libraries must be free. Look at this part. It dropped the need for free. True. So C is also true. Sorry. D. NGOs and citizens initiatives have finally succeeded in ensuring that public libraries are free. No. In fact, refer to these parts. So This is what we used while talking about B, okay? There is no concerted effort to help sustain them. Now combine that with the first sentence of the last paragraph that says, so the struggle still continues, and you know that D is false. So because the question asks us which of the following cannot be inferred, we'd say D, by the virtue of being false, is something that we cannot infer, and therefore is going to be our answer to question number 6. Okay, question number 7. Which of the following strengthens the argument that libraries result in a free thinking and empowered population? So anything that strengthens should support this particular conclusion. So if I look at A says people who read become better. They make better decisions for themselves and for the society. So definitely strengthens. B, reading skills are overemphasized in societies, leading to fractious societies. That is undesirable. So this, if this is true, this actually weakens the fact that libraries result in free thinking and empowered population, right? So the entire conclusion is positive, B is negative towards reading. C, practical vocational skills are more useful than mere theoretical knowledge, and what do books provide? Mostly theoretical knowledge. So this will also go ahead and weaken. Look at D, what you read is more important than how much you read. Now does this strengthen? Libraries result in a free thinking and empowered population. D says that, okay, there are some types of texts which are useful. So it's not the sheer volume, but the type that you refer to. So this is going to be irrelevant to this particular conclusion. So of the 4, as we can see, A strengthens, B and C weaken, D has no impact. And thus our answer for question number 7 should be option A. Here is question number 8 for you. So winning will require everyone from bookmakers, policy wonks and educators to the public to join librarians in demanding it. Demanding it here stands for free libraries. So the author has assumed which of the following in the above statement. So see, when it comes to assumptions, one of the basic checks that I put is negation test. Negate the answer choice and see whether this can be said or this can be arrived at or not. Right? So if an answer choice is actually an assumption, then the opposite of it should weaken the argument, should make the entire argument fall apart. On the other hand, if it is not an assumption, it will not have any such bearing. So let's have a look. When different sections of society demand something, the demand is met. Let's take the opposite. The demand is not met. So if the demand is not met, we can no longer say that all these people coming together will lead to winning. So A is definitely an assumption. B says one has to be aggressive to ensure that demands are met. Do you need to be aggressive? Is it relevant? Let's take the opposite. One does not have to be aggressive to ensure that demands are met. So the statement that is given in the question can still be made. So let's rule out B. C, at present only librarians realize the importance of free public libraries. Not necessary. It's possible that others also realize it, but because they are not coming in together, they're not winning. So even if you negate it, that okay, librarians are not the only one who realize it, so the statement can still be made because the statement relies on everybody coming together and demanding. So realizing versus demanding is different. So C is also not an assumption. D, historically librarians' demands have not been met by governments. Irrelevant. Even if you negate it, it's okay. In fact, if I negate it, historically their demands have been met. So what does it do? Okay, so even in this particular case, probably they're not being listened to, and therefore it requires everybody to come together. So even the negation of D does not make the statement impossible. We can eliminate it, and thus we are left with, in fact, the very first answer choice, A. So our answer to question number 8 should be option A. So that concludes our second paragraph.